Let's do a quick check-in. Om Namo Narayana. My head is kind of cutting off. Just right. Straight. Yeah, straight. Okay. Om Namo Narayana. Yeah. This is Vedic astrology, sidereal zodiac. I'm recording this on June 16th. And today we are going to be focusing on the combustion of Jupiter and the Sun, and a little bit of this upcoming dark moon, since that's going to happen right on the dark moon, which is going to be on June 24th, June 25th. I'm going to mention a few things about the Sarpa Yoga in this video as well. I'm also going to talk a little bit about the Yama Yoga that's also active. We'll talk about a few things. Let's get settled in. If you're new here, I make these forecast videos for the new moon and the full moon regularly. I add a few transits in between when there is time as there is time. My name is Aurélie. I'm a Vedic astrologer, so I give one-on-one readings. If you're interested in looking at your chart, come along. I built a beautiful calendar for this summer to kind of align your plans, your flow with the movement of the sky. Using the sidereal zodiac, okay, Vedic astrology again. So have a look at the calendar, it's really special. And there's also classes. Have a look at all the offerings. Stay close. All right. Sun, Jupiter. Now the Sun is slowly getting closer and closer to Jupiter. All the planets right now are caught in what is called a Sarpa Yoga. That means they are moving in between the nodes of the moon. The nodes of the moon are Rahu and Ketu. They're very important because they're the points of the eclipses, okay? That's why when we look at a chart, you come to my office, we open your chart. I'm gonna have a look at where the nodes are in your chart, so I know what the eclipses are gonna be shaking up in your life over the next year, year and a half, depending on where we are in the transits, okay? Now, Jupiter is extremely important for things like our commitments, our long-term commitments. That can be our family. That can be our relationship, romantic relationship, our friendship, our work, boss. Jupiter is an important planet to get along. So when Jupiter gets weakened, the Akash, right? Jupiter rules over the element of Akash. So the Akash gets low, more of the other elements. Yet everything is, something gets low, something gets high, right? So we currently have a lot of fire, obviously, as you can see, as we can all see. And with Jupiter weakening, it is increased fighting. And it's not just in the world to be worried about or mindful about, but it's also being mindful of how it affects us in our life. Especially if you have Sarpa Yoga in your own chart. Be careful not to be too tempted to get into arguments, to get into rash decisions, to want to try to hurt people, cut people off, or get into this headspace. If you have very abusive relationships in your life, this Sarpa Yogas will show that there's a poisonous situation, yeah? Some people, sometimes they're in very unhealthy work environment. Sometimes the family can be very unhealthy. Wherever that seed of poison that is brought by the Sarpa Yoga, be mindful, okay? Be strong. I encourage people, you know, those curses that we live with. Yeah, everyone has blessings and curses. Everyone has good stuff and difficult stuff, yeah? So if there is Sarpa Yoga in your chart, there is some suffering, some of that poisonous, yeah, that's there with you. I encourage people to their best of ability, yes, protect themselves, yes, make some changes in your life, that there is distance where there isn't there where there needs to be distance with some of those poisonous people, if you do have that, but also not to completely cut people off. You know, there's a reason why we're all bound to each other in healthy and unhealthy way. There's a reason why we have to face some sufferings, and as much as I'd like to say we can all push it away, it's a part of us, because you know, even when you break bonds with unhealthy, very unhealthy dynamic, it becomes a part of us. If it's showing in the moms was very kind of has this sarpa energy, this poison energy. The mom brought up the child, always criticizing, always putting the child down, maybe being jealous. Then what happens? You know, you grow up and you have people that are very insecure, have a really hard time shining, are always getting in their way, creating things. They always have this voice whenever they're doing anything. They have their voice that's there, that's beating them up. It's still very active. It's still very present. So even if you are to completely say, I'm never speaking with mom again, it still is a part of you. So, you know, there's a balance, there's an art to dealing with the poison in life. And I think I really align with the Vedic idea that we should always show respect to our moms, our dads, our family, even when it's really hard. That doesn't mean that you have to constantly, or show respect to teachers, spiritual teachers, you know, wherever that's coming for you. But respect should be shown, and that doesn't mean that, you know, again, there's many ways to set little boundaries. There's many ways to be smart. There's many ways to, you know, you can move away if that's a family issue. You can put some physical space, you know, which already would make a big difference. Make sure that you have your own life and that you're blooming and you're making friends. Maybe you have an amazing partner who reminds you that cheers you on as you go along. Okay, so Sarpa, the Sarpa energy, when it's active in our lives, will do that. So I'm encouraging you to be a little bit mindful with this increase, you know, this increased darkness and this increased tendency to fight, this increased tendency to you know, when the sarpas are showing themselves, when, you know, the manipulation, the darkness that surrounds us shows itself, you know, it's as important how we react to it, who we are in the face of it, and that we keep our own integrity. If you're a spiritual person, this is a very important moment in time, because when Jupiter goes through this combustion, so between now June 25, 26, 27, we say it cleanses. It reveals, the sun is going to reveal the places that still need to be purified. And that can be a very raw process. You know, if you're a spiritual person, maybe your pride is very strong and you're like, oh, I'm such a good spiritual person, and I do my pranayama every day, and I don't know what else. And I had this spiritual experience. You know, people that do all those Kundalini video, yeah? It's a part, you know, once you start to do your meditation, if you're doing initiated yoga, following that, it will awaken the energy centers. You will certainly feel things in your spine that, you know, in no way is a significance of a certain specialness. It's part of that journey of getting towards a higher awareness and reawakening your centers, reawakening the points in your body that are of the spiritual dimension, and charging them. And that's what it's about. So you know, I don't, you know, to me, someone saying I had a Kundalini awakening does not equal being a great spiritual being or realized master at all. I will look at other things than that. A spiritual experience can happen to a lot of people. And anyways, this combustion of the sun is going to be what? Clarifying, burning up some of those senses, some of those spiritual egos, very strongly. Okay, expect that. Where are we at? Now, this dark moon that's coming up on June 25, 24, 25, that's going to be kind of the height of this darkness, especially with Jupiter being caught in it. There's a parivartana, an exchange between Jupiter and Mercury. So the sattva is... there isn't much sattva on those days. We'll say that. There's more darkness than anything on those days. So be a little mindful on those days. Again, if you have situations in your life that are not okay, and you're being challenged, I don't want, don't make big decisions on those days. Try to wait until you're after that point in time to make big changes if you do want to make changes, okay? This dark moon is coming up. So I know there's a lot going on. Try your best if you can. It is summer. If you do live somewhere lovely where you are able to be outside, maybe you can go for a swim, you can go for a drive, you can enjoy your summer fruits. Please do that. This world is we're always in between major tumultuousness and semi-okayness. And that's, our journeys are about finding peace in the face of all of it, yeah? Finding our own inner peace. Because this, there's one day the markets be crashing, one day this politician, this and that, there's accidents, there's hurricanes, there's climate change, there's, power outages, and it's just, we're always in this wave, yeah? We're always in this wave. So our work is to learn to be okay with it. People will often say, oh, I want peace in the world, and I think that's admirable. Who doesn't want peace in the world and everyone to get along? I just don't believe this world is about that. I think this world is always in between light and darkness, and it's the great play. It's the great play of God. This fight between light and darkness. It's the great play because in truth, what is the essence of all essence of creation? It is both the light and the darkness. Isn't that something? Isn't that something rough to also sit with and hard to accept? So in this way, and allow yourself to enjoy your summer. If it's at hand and within your hand and an opportunity, and you currently are not living somewhere where you have to flee your home because there's bombs raining, do that for the people that can't. Do that for the people that are starving here and there. Do that for Sudan and my gosh, if you're in a position to enjoy your life, have your summer, you have your children, there is food on the table, there is shelter. Things are uncertain, and the uncertainty is there. Yeah. Now, in terms of mundane astrology, we'll see a big shift at the end of July. We have a little while to go. This dark moon is very inauspicious for mundane astrology. It could show that there's some poison at use. It shows just a very poisonous day for this coming dark moon. Okay. That's that, and it's not like it's they're bombing, people are bombing each other, so it's yeah. And after that, we'll have a beautiful full moon in July. That's going to be right when Saturn is stationary. So even if it's a beautiful Guru Purnima full moon, there will be a strong Saturn. There will be a strong Saturn in Kendra, so it's going to be very karmic Guru Purnima, but very beautiful Guru Purnima. So that will be in July. The following July dark moon is right as Mars and Ketu are in conjunction. So that's going to be the last bit of it, and after that, at the end of July, Mars is going to be moving away from Ketu, and the Sarpa is going to be broken. And I'm really hoping that August is a big turning page. But this coming dark moon in June 24, June 25, not so great. And hopefully the July full moon brings about a resolution, some treaties being signed, some things that are, a bit Saturnian and not like, but yeah, I'm hoping for that. So let's see, in your own personal life, be well. This is a very long video that I've just made. Thank you for being here. And yes, I'm gonna be reading charts until um August, after which I'm gonna be heading for a journey in the east. I'll be in Nepal. I'll be heading back to the mountains. I'm gonna be at the monastery for some time. Um, in October and after the eclipses. So quite looking forward to that. But you have me until then. So if you have questions about your chart, you want to talk about things you're struggling with, come over. Try your best to be relaxed in the face of such uncertainties and in the face of this world, um, and grateful for what we have. All right.